this video, we're going to explore the 3 key lessons of the Lean Startup method. If you're an entrepreneur or thinking about starting your own business, this content will be very useful to you. So, let's get started. In the first lesson, we're going to talk about the importance of validating your idea before investing too much time and resources. But why is it so crucial to do this? Well, because you simply can't take for granted that your idea has demand in the market. It's essential to understand if there is genuine interest in your product or service before committing significant resources. Imagine this. You have a fantastic idea and decide to invest a lot of time and money in it, only to later discover that there's no demand for what you're offering. That would be a discouraging situation, wouldn't it? But this is where the Lean Startup really shines. It offers a smarter and more rational approach to doing business. To avoid these kinds of mistaken assumptions, we must base our decisions on real data rather than assumptions. As entrepreneurs, we often rely on our intuition and experience to make decisions. And while those qualities are important, we shouldn't forget that there's also a lot of value in obtaining concrete information and evidence. This is where the minimum viable product, or MVP, comes into play. The MVP allows us to test our ideas with a minimal prototype and gather valuable feedback from users. Through the MVP, we can quickly validate whether our idea has traction in the market or if we need to make adjustments and improvements. So, the first key lesson of the Lean Startup is to validate your idea before investing too much time and resources. This is achieved by understanding market demand, making decisions based on real data rather than assumptions, and using the MVP to test concepts and get feedback. It's time to put your idea to the test and gather that crucial data for the success of your business. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more content on entrepreneurship, and feel free to leave us your comments and questions. Now, let's move on to the second key lesson, adopting the build, measure, learn cycle. Let's talk about this crucial lesson of the Lean Startup. In the traditional approach to product or service development, we tend to work on a business model based on assumptions. We create a complete product, launch it to the market, and then hope that customers flock to it. However, this is a big mistake. The Lean Startup teaches us to take a different path, one based on iteration and continuous improvement. The build, measure, learn cycle is the cornerstone of this lesson. Instead of investing a lot of time and resources in developing a complete product, we start with a minimum viable product, or MVP. This MVP is the most basic version of our product or service, which allows us to validate our assumptions quickly and inexpensively. Once we build our MVP, the next crucial step is to measure. We collect relevant data and metrics to assess the performance of our product in the market. These metrics can vary, from the number of users interacting with our MVP to conversions or the time they spend on our platform. The key is to choose the right metrics to measure the progress of our project. But it's not just about collecting data. It's about making informed decisions based on those results. Data analysis and metrics provide valuable information about the performance of our product and customer response. This allows us to make strategic adjustments and improvements to maximize the value we offer and meet the needs of our target market. Furthermore, the build, measure, learn cycle also provides the flexibility needed to pivot when necessary. If the results indicate that our initial assumptions were wrong, we can adapt and change direction. Instead of continuing with a product or service that isn't working, we have the freedom to make changes and adjustments to meet the demands of the market. In short, adopting the build, measure, learn cycle allows us to continually improve our product or service through iteration and continuous improvement. We collect relevant data and metrics, make informed decisions based on the results, and remain flexible to pivot when necessary. This approach helps us avoid unnecessary investment of time and resources in ideas that may not be viable, and allows us to stay agile and adaptable in a constantly changing market. Now, we've reached the third key lesson of the Lean Startup, learning from failures and adapting. But first, I want to thank you all for your comments and subscriptions. It's you who make it possible for me to continue sharing quality content on entrepreneurship and innovation. Not fearing failure, but learning from it. In the world of entrepreneurship, failure can be a frightening word. But in the Lean Startup, we see failure differently. Instead of seeing it as the end of our project, we view it as a valuable opportunity to learn and improve. When we subject our ideas to the validation process, we may find that our initial assumptions were wrong, This can result in a product that doesn't meet market expectations or even a complete lack of interest from consumers. But instead of being discouraged, we take these results as a sign that we need to adjust our approach. We use the data and metrics collected to understand what aspects of our product or business model aren't working, and then work to improve them. Changing course when data suggests it. One of the key skills we develop in the Lean Startup is the ability to recognize when it's time to change strategy and direction. Sometimes the data clearly indicates that we're on the wrong path, and it's crucial to have the courage and flexibility to make a shift. While it can be challenging to let go of an idea or approach in which we've invested time and resources, it's important to remember that our ultimate goal is to build a successful business. And if the data tells us that we need to change course, it's important to listen. Persistence and resilience in the entrepreneurial process. The third key lesson of the Lean Startup is persistence and resilience in the entrepreneurial process. We know that the path to success is not a straight and obstacle-free one. There will be ups and downs, moments of doubt, and times when we face significant challenges. But to succeed, we must remain resilient and stay focused on our vision. Even when we encounter setbacks and obstacles, we must remember why we started in the first place and find the internal drive to keep going. The key is to learn from each failure and adapt as we move forward. As we experiment with different ideas and strategies, we gain experience and knowledge. This allows us to refine our approach and increase our chances of success. So there you have it, the 3 key lessons of the Lean Startup: continuous innovation, idea validation, and learning and adaptation. Remember, failure is not a death sentence for your idea, but a valuable learning opportunity. Change course when the data indicates it, and maintain persistence and resilience in the entrepreneurial process. Thank you for joining us in this video on business innovation. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and leave your comments. See you in the next video.